Oh, yep, here we are. Just pull it up on my phone. Pull it up on my phone here. Think we're here though. Welcome. We're here a little early because I want to be here live whenever the Q&A starts, so you guys we can all do it like live. So this is a build up. I'm gonna be talking about NASCAR 6 mostly. This week's Iowa, yeah, so I thought next week. That's like next week, yeah. Um, if Wyatt should be listening. If Wyatt, you asked what track I've been to. I've been to Talladega multiple times in the past. Like the last one I did was back in 2021, but I have been to multiple before. Stream is starting. Yeah, I'm not late like most streamers. I'm not here faking what time I'm starting. If I ever set a time, unless I'm like really having to do something real quick, I but I don't think I feel I would either start like early so I have the starting if I had like a starting soon, never at any point. But I honestly do get it though, so people join, so they don't just like start, I guess, with no one watching. But I guess yeah, we have an hour, so that's I gave myself an hour pre-game right here, an hour pre starts in 15 minutes. I think it's on Discord, so whenever it starts, I'm gonna join the Discord stage here and see if they're talking. We'll see. Um, but I mean, while we have the time, what are you guys doing? How you guys feeling? But I'll share I'll share Discord. I don't know if they're gonna have cameras or not, but they might. But I have the gameplay trailer up real quick. If you guys want to see something, or we might want to look at it, we'll look through everything. I have the dev diary we can watch. Dang, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate me being your favorite streamer. But again, I have this up. I have this up on my Twitter or YouTube. I have both the trailers they came out with. I have the Twitter thing. I probably could update this. I update this since the last, but we have all this stuff that you could some extra information. Got the track lists. So yeah, all that. If you want to talk about it, since we have time, we have an hour. We talked about it kind of last time, but the gameplay trailer. I think I wanna say something. I had this miss. I think wrong. I don't know if they're day night transitions because if there would have been, they would have told us right here in the thing because they know people want that. So I feel like they would tell you, but I thought with the new skyboxes and dynamic lighting that means, but yeah, I feel like that's still shots in the game, and they're just poor at telling us. But um, dynamic lighting sounds like it's dynamic and it has day night transitions, but I don't know. Are you guys excited for NASCAR 26? I feel like we're gonna know if Kyle Busch is gonna be in the game. I don't know. I want to say he is, but you know, it just sucks that he isn't. Mm, or I don't. I think the likelihood of him being in the game is I said 80%. I wasn't thinking about it like probably not. I don't know, but I said 80% like last time. I'll probably say it's like a 30% chance he's in the game now. I've rethought about it and I realized that he probably is not. Out of respect for his family. Well, it's up to them, not Matty D. I think it's up to their family, and I think that's what it should be. If they want him to be in the game and it's fine with him, I think, then it's fine. He should be in the game, and I want him to be in the game. I want him to be in the game, but like obviously it's up to their family, and they should give him an opening tribute like NASCAR Thundertism 2 had with Dale Earnhardt. Yeah, rest in peace, Bush. I feel like the reason I thought he wasn't because they had signed it, but they probably were like, all right, we're gonna make sure it's fine with the family first before they just have him in the game. I feel like he might have signed that he was already supposed to be in the game. I would assume that he already did that because the game comes out when he was still like that. He was in May, so before the Coke 600. So, but I still want him to be in the game, but we'll see. I still think there's a shot, but it makes sense if he's not, and that's you know. I do think it's gonna come in later games, but we'll see. I think it's very we'll see. I will definitely I use his I'll be using his car probably a lot in the games, but either way, I've been just what do you guys think about NASCAR? Do you think NASCAR 6 is gonna be it's gonna be good? Let's see. And Hill is in 33, so you can see from the first step Dyer. Yeah. Well, also, where was it in the trailer? Right here, they show a bunch of cars driving through, and I don't see him. If you like try to look through, I think he's Austin Hill those in the back. Now I could see them like making this a big thing, like oh he's in the game, I guess. I don't even see Hill, probably somewhere. Heim, Zilich, Love. I see Love. Greg's. Is that what numbers like Gregson's? Yeah. He's probably in there somewhere. Hill. But we'll see. I'm not gonna have 100% faith in him. I'm not gonna be like 0% faith that he's not in the game, but you know. It's probably up to the family, so put him in the game as a legend driver, but his family probably won't want it. Well, it just depends what his family wants. If his family wants him in the game, then he'll be in the game. So, just glad he probably will come down to them, and you know, that's good. As I saw people talking about I saw people not like glossing over this. This is like a major feature. I honestly don't know why people don't think this is a bigger feature right here, though. This right here, you do your like little laps or whatever, and it tells you your AI ratings. And I just see no one talking about this at all. So either people missed it or what, I don't know. But they tells you what your AI rating you need to put it at, and I feel like that's such a W feature. Like out of any of the features of any racing game, that's pretty good. Like, and I think this is the best feature they're gonna be adding, at least from what they've shown so far. I don't know what career mode has, if career mode even gets updates, but um, this is probably the best feature that they're adding right here, and I feel like no one's talking about this being like in there. Like this is such a goated feature since you don't have to since you have to spend like 20 years practicing settings. Like I don't want to like sit there doing a whole race. Oh well, it's a little too hard. Let me go change it real quick after like a while. Well, yes. So if I only have to run like 2 laps here, here's the releases that were up for pre-order before he died, but I assume that they were. Well, I pre-ordered the truck car, his last truck win, so I got that coming in the mail in like December or whatever it is. So once they make it, but I'm happy that I'm gonna get that. It's a 24 scale too, so 124. I'm happy. I'm excited for that. I think they didn't do the Charlotte one because I think people that one also going crazy. Honestly, I don't get the appeal on that one because it was obviously supposed to be his truck or the next one he was supposed to do, but he didn't win that one. At least I can get the last one he won in NASCAR. I got a diecast of that. So I don't know that vehicle of that in the NASCAR series. So I got, you know, But I feel like people aren't talking about this peak performance stuff, and I think it's gonna be really cool. The last truck win is going to sell out. Oh, it doesn't like I don't think they sell out. It's all about it. I think all it does is it like what it they pre-order it and they make as many as more pre-orders I think they get, and then maybe they make a few extra or they make a lot. They might make a lot extra. I don't know if it. Since it's Kyle Busch and his last truck one, they might make a lot of those. But yeah, I got that one. I guess I can show it real quick. Let me just make sure Lionel. I just want to make sure nothing like. Where is it? Shot by driver. Boom. Saw a video of his last lap. Yeah. So yeah, this is what I got right here. Boom. This truck right here. This last win. Right here. Boom. So excited for this to come in the mail. I think it's gonna come somewhere in December, probably, most likely, maybe even January. But hey, whenever it comes, I'll be happy for no matter what. Nothing's gonna make me like sad for like a week, I bet. So like, and it's a 24 scale too, so I wanted to get that one. So, but yeah, this doesn't even say it's just pre-order. But this one, like, I think had there was something I saw on it that it sold out crazy. It's still so weird to think about that being his final win period. I mean, he was good in the trucks. He was absolute god tier in the trucks. Like, he's god tier in the Cup and Xfinity. O'Reilly. Actually, in O'Reilly, he was even better. But in trucks, he was also really good too. Like, I think he said his plan was going to be to run one. Last season was going to be run a season in trucks, I think, and win a championship, and that would have been so cool. He would have got at least like 20 wins that season. I'm not joking. He would have like no one would have like there would have been not even competition who would win that championship. It was just going to be locked up from like race number 5 or whatever, or like race number 1. He locked up before the season started, but he was gonna run the entire truck season his last ever trucks season, full-time season, I think it was. He said he was gonna run trucks and win a championship, and so his last win was probably gonna be trucks anyways. Yeah. So I think the season before that, I think he said that he was going to run a full truck season, and then they could start splitting, and then Brexton starts doing the short tracks, and then the year after that he won the championship or whatever. So I guess that was his plan. I think he said in an interview, and he was gonna dominate. Like it was gonna be bad, and I've been like, I wasn't the biggest KB fan, but I liked him. Still top 10, 15 maybe. Well, I think a lot of people started liking him when he went to Richard Childress. Really, after like maybe the last year in his JGR, I think people started maybe turning a little bit of a corner. But what really turned him a corner was the Childress one. He could have won the Triple Crown because the first to do so, but fortunately, we'll never see that happen. Yeah, that's sad. I wonder, and then he would have like whoever he would have been like had like all, who knows? There might have been even crew chief that might have like wanted, but yeah, I ordered this one, so I don't know if let's see, I can click this and then boom. Let's see, yeah, they don't say sold out, so I don't know. At one point it did say sold out. Look at all these cars though, sold out, sold out. I mean, sold out. I don't have many diecasts, and I probably would not. I don't really order too many diecasts. I'm like a giant diecast person, but I had to get this last truck win. I watched that race too. I was like, man, Dude, and things are starting to turn a corner too. Like, he was doing good in trucks. He was doing better in Cup too, from what the season had been doing. He was faster the last couple weeks. I was like, all right, we'll get a win this season. Hopefully, maybe even somehow make the playoffs and or the chase, and we're having a good. But then, and then good season, but whatever. It just sucks. I was like, he had a good day because he got. I think it was he got pole. He got fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. Or maybe not. Was he fastest in practice? Well, he was up there in practice. I know that. Qualifying fast pole, fastest in the led the most laps. It had the fastest lap, and then had won the race. And he was just dominant. Thursday, May 21st. We lost him. Yeah. I was recording a video. I was like, I I I knew that in the video I knew he was out because they revealed that first, and then it was like um yeah. So yeah, we yeah. So I was gonna talk about NASCAR 26 here today, and we're over here talking about how much. So. But yeah, let's oh my word. Again, I know. Well, the peak performance here. So I honestly don't know why people haven't talked about this much. Again, I'm because I know you guys talking about the diecast stuff and but yeah, I'm surprised no one's talking about this more because like I saw someone saying that they're not gonna they're not gonna like I think it was Going or Clayable or one of them. They said it would seem cool for newer people, but no, I don't know what we're talking about here because if I'm on controller and the AI is different at each track, so I can't put it at the same AI rating every race and weekend and be the same. Like, I feel like we should. It is pretty good. Well, I think that not about knew something was wrong. I think he just. I also don't think. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to speculate. Um. But yeah, he might have knew something was wrong, but he was also sick the last couple days. Like he was been sick beforehand, like so he might have not been feeling the best in general. And then he seemed decent in Dover, like really good in Dover. But then he also had a fast car in the All Star race too, by the way. But he knew that something was wrong. Yeah, but yeah, again, Going and Clayable, they said that this was gonna be a one-time thing, or they might not do it much. But like, this is pretty good. I don't know what we're talking about here because this tells you what AI you need to put it at, so you don't have to spend 20 years and know what every track is for your controller skill or whatever. And then you could run this, and then it'll tell you again what your estimated AI was. This is also data here, which is nice. I'm not much of a data person. I want to be looking at too much, but. This is the big thing right here, the estimated AI rating. So you run your laps and it tells you AI to run. I think it's every track. I hope it is. Daytona, there's Homestead, and I also saw Bristol on the Steam page. So, um, he he asked for a doctor at Watkins Glen. Yeah, he Well, he asked for a doctor to get to his hauler. I think it was a trailer or something. I don't know what it was or something like that. So then they could like do something. I guess give him medicine. I just hope that if they whatever they gave him, it wasn't like because of that. I obviously don't know, and I just hope that it wasn't like that wasn't like the medicine that they gave him or the um the if like they gave him drugs or something that might have made it worse. I don't know because he might have felt better, but was it making him actually better? I don't know, but um. I'm not like super freaking. I'm not like a doctor, so I don't know. Just taking a just taking a guess, I guess, but I don't know. So, but he was obviously feeling something in Watkins Glen, so you know. Now I don't know if like racing really like I don't know if that would have mattered if he wasn't racing or not that week, but that Dover or whatever it is. I hope the AI is also better, like in general for NASCAR 6. I wanna keep talking about NASCAR 6 because that's what the whole point is here. And we have what 40 minutes till the. I think I'm about to join this stage. It doesn't say anything. Anyone's there though. Hold up, let me check. No one's currently speaking. Oh, we have IRC Matt. He was in the chat 12:16 today. They must have. Oh, they were testing. All right, they were in the. They were in the chat. So this is where we have to be. So I'll show you guys the Discord screen. It's just like I don't think they're gonna be showing like their faces or anything, but I will be live streaming it, watching the reaction and we'll be reacting to it as they go. I probably could put the Discord link in the thing if you guys want to be in there. Hold on, let me. It's on the. I'll just get. Oh my. I have it right here. Boom. So you guys want to join it and watch it yourself? I'll just put it in a link right here. It's gonna. I have to hurry. Boom, and then boom. All right. The G-forces could have made it worse. Maybe. Here, I'll put it in my description, so if anyone wants to join and then wants to see it, hold on, let me just put that in my description real quick. You're watching me do this live. Oh my word, that's not what I meant to do when you get my studio. There we go. Boom. So if you guys want to join the you see for yourself, even though I'll be showing everything else anyways, but just in case you guys want to watch it yourself, some people might want to. I'll put the invite link right there that you need to go to watch to see Q&A. And then I think you have to click you have to be interested, I think it was, or something. I'm not 100% sure. Make sure you and yeah, I think so all you do here is what's this say? Yeah, I don't know. So we got some people actually in there, not just one person. So we got me, I'm Matt, and you got Jeff. The Jeff dude that's gonna be hosting, I guess. I'm talking about. We'll see. Is there any yeah, there's notifications right here. Stop freaking I don't know what to do. No, it's not. But you have to join it, and I think you have to get a announcement, and then just make sure it's interested. I already put a question in there too. Forgot what. So if like you like go to event. Oh, you might have to go to events on the top there and click interested. Tomorrow, what is this? Dang, 250. What is this? Is this like reaction? Vote for driver radios. Who do you think will win? Oh no, I'm not using the NASCAR Discord much. I'm just chilling in it. I'm in it though. Make sure you like and comment, or not comment, but like, I'm thinking comment, you just chat. But make sure you like, and subscribe. 25 likes, and they might have added what you wanted for NASCAR 26. We'll see. Who knows? I'll be right back. What do you guys want from NASCAR 26? You guys want you want I've already put these I put some questions on there, like what people could be asking. I don't know what they're gonna be asked, but I hope at least I asked for multiple career mode if they're giving me multiple. What do you guys want from NASCAR? Career mode saves, so just make sure my audio is like not dying. You guys want I've already put these. Oh yeah, my mic's not like having a stroke. When the next stream after this career mode or race. When the next stream after this career mode or I'll probably stream my next stream after this because this is just a talking about NASCAR 6 stream. I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm not gonna play any games. I'm just gonna talk about NASCAR 6 and watch the reaction here. We have the dev diary if you guys get something now, and I have some other stuff up right here. But my next stream might be tomorrow at Saturday. I might do some iRacing or if not Sunday, I will be Sunday night. I will do NIS. I always do that. We'll probably do some NR with Mike. We got that thing working finally. Howdy, partner. Hello. No cheddars or cheddars Monday. Hello. Cheddars. Oh, no cheddars on Monday. Hello. You here for the Q&A reaction? I'm hoping they reveal something like good. What time? So Saturday, if I do it, it'd probably be well, actually, hold up. What time is the other race? Because if I was stream at the same time as the Xfinity race, no 4. So I'll probably did if I did stream tomorrow, I'll probably be like 11 a.m. for Sunday, Saturday, and then Central Time, and then for Sunday, I don't know. I just want to say, oh well, hello. But if I did Sunday, it'd probably be like 8 my time or 7, maybe a little early. It'd probably be after the NASCAR race. After the NASCAR race, I'll go live Sunday. So, but then Monday I'll do like New Week iRacing and probably do some NR stuff after like 7 or 6. It's about the same time most nights, and then Tuesdays from now on. By the way, why? If you want to see my career mode, I know you say you've been watching it. If you want to see me on my career mode, I'm continuing it on the why don't I just play this in the background? Because I just want to have something going in the background. But while we play on the actually, I think a trailer would be better in the background. Play this in the background. But every Tuesday at 6:30 Central, which last time was a little bit later, but every Tuesday I will keep it up at 6:30 Central. I'll be doing a live stream of my career mode. Because I want it to be done with my I want to get done. I want to run an entire career mode because I have not done that, and yeah. Just waiting here for who you guys want to talk about. If you guys want to talk about anything, you know, don't worry about talking about anything like NASCAR related. There isn't much I would not be willing to talk about. We see my cross-platform. I will stream I'll stream NASCAR 36 live when it comes out, and when it first comes out, and I'll do some multiplayer with you guys. I know I don't have to do multiple. I was thinking if I could stream the same time as Gary and Claybull or whatever they're doing on their multiplayer, and could just join them and just be streaming at the same time. Like, I could stream that, and then if he wants to join, they can join theirs or whatever. So, whatever. So, like, I don't know if you guys want to do that. But it'll only be PC because I'm only on PC. I don't have an Xbox, so I would have to be on PC. I don't. 7 is. Why does it sometimes? I wonder why YouTube does that sometimes. Make sure you subscribe here. We're trying to reach 1,000 here before the end of before NASCAR 26. I don't know if I can, but that's my goal here. I think if I can have a decently, if I have something big pop off, maybe I could. I don't know. I'm trying new things, trying to stream this and seeing what sticks. Really just trying to test the waters. There's a bunch of different things. I think I was gonna make a NASCAR 15 video today. I was gonna make a short today. Would you guys want to see NASCAR 15? If I make a NASCAR 15 video of me just playing it, would you guys want to see that? I don't know if you guys want to or not. I know there was a new mod that came out recently, but I don't know if you guys want to see that. We're gonna have a new NR video tomorrow for sure. It's Kansas, so I'm excited for that one for myself. Also, by the way, sure, 640 subs in 1 month. Yes, yes. You guys want to see NASCAR 15? Yeah, again, there was new mods that came out, so I was like, I could make it. I was just making a video just a regular NASCAR 15, but then I was like, I could also make a video on the mod that they came out. I don't know what exactly what it is. I've not spent too much time researching it. But right here is the actual Xfinity logo right here. It's funny because they had that mistaken on the mistake on the thing, so they blurred it up. What do you guys gonna pre-order the game, get the game, wait for the game to come out, and maybe and see what it is, or wait for it to go on sale, which honestly probably is the best thing to do, but you know, you guys plan on doing it or don't even get the game, wait till next year. What are you guys thinking? Cause I was thinking I'm probably gonna get the game, try to get it 3 days early access. I was saying, get the game before, so I can stream it live as soon as it comes out. Yes, Gold Edition. Yeah, I have to just buy it soon. I will have to get it at some point. It's not what I meant to do right there. I did the wrong thing. I don't have it. I didn't pre-order just yet because I'm not gonna pre-order it until like a week before it comes out, or like 2 weeks before. Pre-ordered Gold Edition and download it to my console on day 1 of pre-orders. Well, that download is not always that's not always the right version. It's always like a quick download, and then they'll have to be a download. Like if they will allow it, they'll have a download like a couple days before that. But I will pre-order it probably September like 7th, or like September at the beginning of September, like the 1st. I just don't feel like pre-ordering it right now. Because like if I pre-order it 14 days instead of what 80 days or 70 days, whatever it is, when it first, or 60 days, or it's like 50 days. When at first, I don't think it really matters really, but we'll see. Do you guys think side draft is going to be in the game? Because I know side draft was something in there. I also wish there was multiple ways I could do poll, but honestly, I'm just going to leave it in there. You have 20 votes? Let's go. At least 65%. I'll take that. 20 votes. That's crazy. Trying to see. Oh, you guys don't even see it. Hold up. I'll share my my desktop real quick. I don't like share my desktop because when I go to my down here, you guys can see it. I don't really want to, but in case sometimes it will. This is a Steam page here. The game looks very big though. 100 gigabytes, 65 gigabytes. I wonder if which one's correct. Is this the minimum? Like, what is the difference? Is the no way paint schemes will down that much, but I hope we can adjust the top pit seat up. Yeah. Well, I hope if they can make it more adjustable, that'd be nice. Like it's what they set to. If they can make it like iRacing where they can change it as much as you can change it as much as you want. Improved AI Dina. Try to see if I see anything. We asking about the trophy room. I'm mixed feelings on it because I feel like it's kind of cool. Like I'll look at it, and if you win the championship, I guess you can, you'll see it. But like in all, like what they could have spent time on doing, is it really the first thing that we need to worry about in the next game? Like there's other things that they could work on the game. Maybe it's just me, and maybe I just don't think it really matters to that much of a degree. Like, why do they need to do that? And then why do they need to spend time making the graphics better? Why couldn't they just do, why couldn't they do, like, add, where you can drive for other teams in career mode right here? Boom, that could have been that. I obviously, I don't know if that's going to take as much the same amount of time. And then, whatever, like, and then, like, what? I don't think the trophy room took all that much. Yeah, but they had to get the model, they have to model the trophies and then put it in the game. Takes time to model it. Maybe not code it and put it in the game. So maybe their coders didn't spend too much time on that. But they spent time modeling stuff. And that still took up a lot of time maybe on that from modeling, I guess. In the gameplay trailer, you can see the 33 of Austin Hill and the restart on the inside lane. I missed it. I don't know if I did or not. On the inside. There's Elliott. He's on the inside. Blaney. Bowman. I don't see Hill. On the gameplay trailer. I don't see Hill unless I'm blind. Am I head blind? That's Dylan. That's John Nemechek. Douchebag. Cindric. Jones. I don't see Hill. Am I missing it? Almendinger. Bowman. Barisco. It's Love. Oh, okay. He's driving a 33. Well, does that mean he's not in the game? I don't know. Or, like, he did. Go a bit further. This is as far as it goes right here. Down. Try to see. What they could do, though, I don't know if this is their plan to make it seem bigger than it actually is. But what they could do is this would be kind of messed up if it is. But they could, in fact, make it to where there's like a big surprise. Oh, Kyle Busch is in the game, and then it's just like a selling point for them, and it's just a later announcement that they're gonna announce. Maybe that's why they haven't announced the drivers yet, because they want people to speculate if he's in the game or not. It gets people talking, and if he's in the game, it makes people want to do it. And I feel like that's just kind of like I don't know. I don't like that. Behind Zilich, well, I see Love. but Hill's taking over the 33 though. But that's all I want is if they just don't, or they like, I hope they're not dragging it on just so they don't make it like a big thing that they're because I feel like you're trying to you're trying to take advantage of him that he died to make it so well he's in the game or you say like, oh, this is his last game ever and he's like, I feel like that's a little bit, I don't know. If it was in the game and then they announced the driver, like they announced the drivers last year way earlier than this, and I feel like they're waiting. I feel like they're trying either. So I hope it's just not some big thing that they make it part of, like, I don't know. Next week, I assume. We'll see. It's later in the trailer. Where in the trailer? The Hill's in there? What is the Q&A? They're doing a Q&A on Discord in like about 20 minutes. Can't see anything from that one. That image is trash. They're doing a QA on Discord. I'll show it to you guys. Right here. Boom. So they're doing this Q&A here. The NASCAR AMA with Racing Matt, hosted by Jeff. Well, Jeff. I forgot to say his last part of the name. But is YouTube on there? No. Can I see it? I don't know. But either way, they'll be doing a Q&A right here and over here. Active now. I think it's gonna be like NASCAR 25 situation. Maybe we'll have Jesse Love and Bush in the game all at once again, like last year, like with Suarez. Then we'll see. So yeah, this is NASCAR 25 here. Boom. See. I could probably join it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. There we go. So I think that's most likely what will happen, JJ. I believe it's the restart at Charlotte, possibly. Which I think I just looked at the beginning, right? Or is that... Oh, wait. Are you talking about... In the dev diary? I have it up right here. Probably talking about this. Probably got it mixed up with the trailer and the dev diary. Because at some point they were, like, driving. Let's see. Was it right here? Or is it right after this right here? But that's Love, though, right? This might be the same image. This might be the same thing that they showed in the trailer. But from the cars, let's see. Wait, no, that's Illich right there. That's 88. Never mind. Never mind. Because Illich was on the inside in the gameplay trailer. Because I know at the end of this one. But this might be Love. It looks like maybe the same, possibly the same car. Because look, blue a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, the gameplay. So they're gonna do a Q&A here. We already have a decent amount of people already waiting. I'm streaming, you know. Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know if streamer mode matter. I don't think. Yeah. I don't really care about streamer mode, really. I don't know why it's even a thing, but like, I kind of annoys that it does it automatically because it doesn't really bother me. I guess it just bothers me when I'm trying to do something and I just like, oh, things are now hidden now. But I don't know. I guess so people don't like leak stuff and stuff like that. So it does it automatically for you. It doesn't have to leak anything. But hello, NASCAR Chevy. We're gonna react to this Q&A here. They're gonna be doing. I don't. If we submitted a question, are we good? Well, I don't know if it's too late. It might be too late, or Jeff is the one hosting. But if you go to events right here, click interested. Oh, boom, right there. Interested, and it should ask you. It couldn't ask you if you want to ask a question, but it might have already closed here for the questions. Because it might like this is already a little late here. We're about to start in about what 15 minutes here. 15 minutes here from the start, and I expect it to be some decent, interesting. You know, I expect all the YouTubers that at some point it's gonna like. I was like unsure if it's gonna be Discord or not, because it said it was gonna be on Discord, but I don't know if like they were gonna also stream on YouTube. There hasn't been much like talking about this one, so maybe they're on Twitter. They're only talking about on Twitter, so we'll see. So, audience. I'm assuming no one's speaking, so as soon as they start speaking now, I couldn't get into Discord due to not having a phone number, but I'm hoping someone ask a question about blow. They probably will. That's a very important. Oh, here we go. Here's Jeff right here, by the way. He joined. I can't say his last name, so I'm not trying to be like I'm not. Yeah, this guy. He's the one hosting it. I'm like. But he's the one hosting it here, this dude. So. Did you make a post about it? Oh. But this guy is going to be the one who's going to be... Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. What in the world? Oh, it has some music playing. Just muted? I have no idea, but so we got Commander, you know, you saw him probably. Yeah, he's just playing the trailer. Let's see. Everyone hearing the music all right? Yep, sweet. Let me turn the music down. I don't want it to be too loud there. You guys can hear a little something though. Yo, I gained a subscriber. Let's go. Dang, they showed up real quick. Oh my word, everyone just showed up real quick. Assuming Matt's gonna join soon. Holy crap, we got a lot of people. Dude, everyone's showing up now. Look at this. This is crazy. Dude, everyone just showed up. Let's see. People say in the chat. Jeff, everyone. For everyone else, we'll be starting the AMA at 4 p.m. in your time zone. So what are time zone shows your time zone? What on your screen? So, but it's at 4 p.m. for me. So starts at about how much time do you left? 13 minutes here. No, you just made it in time because in 13 minutes is when the AMA starts and the questions. So I was waiting for an hour in the waiting screen. Dang. This channel's not on your channel list. Dang. This guy's playing the trailer, I guess, revert, you know, until the... But look how many people is showing up. But you can find, well, we'll see. But for anyone that doesn't have Discord, I guess, you can watch it through mine. Because some people don't have Discord, and, like, what, he says he doesn't have a phone number, so... Hey, boom. See, I can help you. How can I ask something? You kind of already send it in there through Discord. And it might be already too late anyways. You kind of have to go to here. Let me see. Is it right here? Well, you had to, like, be interested in this. And then you had to, like... talk. Oh, my word. Holy crap. How many people is interested? It had to be on Discord. I don't know if you have Discord, though, Austin. But... well, the question I ask, because I don't know, there's like really one, is will there be multiple career mode saves? Will there be multiple career mode saves? I mean, it's the one I've been harping on for like 20 years now, I feel like. But whatever. Mike isn't here, so then he doesn't like talk smack. You know, Mike isn't here to. What AMA is this? Dang. It's almost NASCAR 26 time with Matt. Dang, we got D Gooden here in the house. D Gooden's out here chatting now. What do we got? Happy to be here. Let's see. We got 13 people watching here. Make sure you hit like and subscribe here. Like and subscribe. If you like the stream, you might see. Hope someone asked about local split screen. They probably will be, which I don't think it's gonna be in the game, but invitational is. A lot of people chatting. They're not probably. Oh, I see Matt just joined. Boom, found him. Oh, right there. Boom, right there. See if he says anything in the chat. Oh, here we go. He's muted though. Look at him. For aggressive AI. Aggressive AI. If we got aggressive AI on the final lap, that'd be so cool. If the AI actually like got more aggressive. It's Austin, I hope. Here's like the overhaul driving physics and team facility up. Yeah, I think we will, hopefully. I'll when they're talking, I'll try not to talk much. Because I'll probably go back and look at them, but I don't know how much you guys want me to talk, but I'll try to stay silent. You know, while they're talking. So it doesn't like ruin, but we'll see. Also, just so anyone hit subscribe, so that I will be live streaming anything news related. NASCAR 26 is gonna be coming out. If anything, if I already know it's coming out soon, at that time I will be live. If it's a pre-scheduled announcement or a trailer, like a drop, like gameplay trailer, like a week ago, I'll be live here every time, here to be with you guys, live streaming it. So make sure you hit a like and subscribe, because you'll see plenty of this from me in the future. Let me. While I'm over here, so it doesn't affect you guys, let me go make a new scene real quick. It might go black for a second. It will. Just give me 1 second. We have time here. Window capture. Discord. Alright, well, screen. Sorry. Alright, so you guys, so if I tab out us about DLC every month, on the lap counter for NASCAR 26, they should have used. Yeah, 100%. I won't. I'll try not to talk. I'll try not to talk. Also, about DLC for every race month, because 90%. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we do get some new things. Let me put my. Where is it? Is it? What did I do for that? I was browser. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Add existing and stop right there. Alright, let me fix that real quick. Make sure you hit subscribe, though. I will be live streaming any announcements here. I'll have to do other live streams. But if you want to be here for any of the live streams I do, which is what I'm doing, I do live streams reacting to what they are talking about here. I can make that a little smaller. It could be a little smaller. I'll be live. What are you guys thinking? I won't. If they're talking and they're answering a question, I will not be talking much. So, I hate being late. It's fine. You're not late. We have still 7 minutes left till the new talk thing, the new thing. So, to the Q&A. Seems like I already Matt made it. He might, we'll see. How'd it go? It's been going good, but it's not, we unsub if you don't let's listen to the GOAT, Matthew Lewis. Cowbush is my GOAT. I hope they do something about honor him in the game. Yeah, I hope they do. And again, I've already said this, but I hope they don't just, announce these in the game, though, just to make, a big thing, because they know people will do it. You can't even lie, dude. He's the GOAT. Yeah. Yeah, he's not reading the poll. Dude, 31 votes? 31 votes. And, oh my word, this might be my biggest poll yet. I'll leave the poll out for the entire stream, by the way. Let's see what these people are saying. I have a huge question. Dude, they're not going to answer any of the questions I don't think in here. They already have them both changing. If they don't have a racing line, I'm going to crash every lap at San Diego. Benjamin, chill. I don't work for iRacing. I'm just a dev. I'm not a dev, just a YouTuber. Sorry, first time joining something like this. Is this only audio? Or I think they'll show their faces. And once they show their faces here and they do like a voice, I guess, thing, well, I'll go full screen. We're just reading the chat right now. Yeah, okay. Classic, probably not. If the Kyle Busch rule didn't exist, he'd have like O'Reilly championships and probably 10 truck championships. Probably another 200 wins. Yeah. I think I saw a race. Oh yeah, they did. They had a racing line in the Oh, I'm not sure okay, you know what? They did have it in the trailer though. I do know what you're talking about though. They did have a racing line in the trailer. Hopefully someone mentions a realistic damage model. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, Jeff is going to be answering the questions. Hopefully people ask him really good questions, because I beg. We need to get some new information. We need to get some, so good. Yeah. I asked if they have multiple career mode saves. Imagine if we could get his championship cars or something. I don't think there's gonna be classic cars in the game, like old cars. What's the KF? Oh, he's talking about the he only limits what? Well, he only limits the you can only have so many races. If you're a Cup Series full-time driver, you can only run like trucks here. You can't run like full-time trucks in Xfinity or O'Reilly. But he was saying like if that rule didn't exist, he would have all the championships in the world and 200 plus wins, which I would agree to. Go inciting, dang. The GOAT Sammy Smith will win tomorrow. We'll see. Yo, make sure to hit subscribe here because I'll be live streaming any announcement like this here. We need any like on NASCAR 26 or any future NASCAR games or maybe even IndyCar. I might even live stream that because I enjoy doing these live streams, and the ones that start in about 3 minutes. I do enjoy doing these here, so make sure you hit subscribe because I'll be live streaming any announcement, any new reaction that I could be doing here. I enjoy doing those, and hey, you enjoy hanging out with you guys, so make sure you hit subscribe to see any of the future and reactions I'm gonna have here. Any reaction I would have, I'll be live streaming it now. So, dang, they said. Yeah, the Goen's gonna live stream this. That's Goen if he's gonna live stream this. Appreciate you guys. How many people's in here? We have 300 people watching. I want to know what the refined physics means. I hope they don't make the game more like the Heat games. I personally didn't like the driving on trains. Yeah, that sucked. I hope the AI pit logic is better. I put like some of the main questions I thought I had in the what I would think would be the main questions here for on the front page, like how many paint schemes. Like someone's gonna ask that, obviously, or something like that. This is my first time hearing about you. I'm glad you came here to watch the thing, because some people are gonna miss it here because I don't think it's gonna be like a gameplay trailer where people will see it. So make sure you I'll be reacting to any I'll be live reacting to anything here. I was like, why is this muted? That's because I'm like I can't talk. Gaming. How he'll stream it. I'm hoping they answer that. What game is this? Also, you notice in the trailer the rubber building up on the cars. I thought they had that in the game though. I thought they had that in 25. Like if you hit the car, it have rubber buildup or something like that. Maybe not. I just want to know if Kyle Larson's in the game. There's a real rabbit here too. Anyone knows? Yo, I would have to like search if I should have fighting for specific people here. But only 350 people, so they might have not some people's not gonna know, and this is why I like live stream it so that people can see it here.
Hello, everybody, and happy Friday to all of
Whoa.
you. Let me just turn on my camera and stuff here. In just a few moments, we'll be starting.
All right.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. My name's Jeff Fabiano. I am a YouTuber and streamer, and this is Mr. Matt here with the iRacing team. And NASCAR 26 is what we're going to be talking about. I'm very excited about this game. I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I'm a huge NASCAR gaming fan. I started playing NASCAR games back in 1994 with Papyrus's NASCAR Racing. And Matt, we've known each other for a long time. We started working in 2016.
Yeah, the running joke is we've known each other since we both had hair, right? Which is not, it's not a joke,
Yeah.
It's an actual fact.
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah,
long time
today, so we don't have to hide it.
We appreciate your support and you doing this for us. Super awesome to have you here. So thank you, buddy.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, everybody's really excited about the details of NASCAR 26. We had the trailer drop, and at the end of the trailer, you had everything flashing really fast there, and people were on YouTube already breaking it down frame by frame to try to figure out what everything was. And I think there's some things in there that you're going to clarify with us today.
Yeah, we're excited to do it. And yeah, it was funny. I saw plenty of 20 and 30-minute videos out of the gameplay trailer, and that was kind of the point, right? Was to get some information out there and just get the buzz started, get people talking about it. So yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome. Well, we're not going to waste any of y'all's time. We're going to jump right into things here. The first one is coming in from Endaw Dog 88. There it is. Got it. Ndog 88. His question is, will the force feedback with wheels be fixed compared to last game?
Yeah, so obviously a bit of a bumpy start with N25 on the wheel front, but I think we got there in the end. We did a ton of updates right as the game launched, but even more work has been done since then. And you know, I think there's an extra challenge for racing games, which is all this peripheral devices, right? And then on top of that, you have wheels from the $50 range to the multiple $1,000 range from brands you've never heard of, and some of them go from literally rubber bands and plastic gears all the way up to the direct drive stuff that if you're not careful with how you set things up, like they can literally break your wrists, right? And so I think with where we were with NASCAR 25, there was sort of a hesitant piece on our side to go too far to the extremes either way, right? To just kind of keep things a bit clamped down and a bit safer in the middle. And so over time, we fixed that in 25 with some of the patches, but then we've gone even further this year as well. So the centering spring in particular will have different levels that you can adjust. There's just more adjustability across the board, and we've been doing a ton of wheel testing that we didn't get to do as much last year with N25. So
yeah, I mean, I was one of those people that with my Thrustmaster wheel, I didn't have to worry about that so much. It was pretty good out of the gate. It didn't have that cogging or the thing in the center where it was really light in the center, where it would swim back and forth. And I remember back in the heat games, we had a lot of that happening with the swimming back and forth when you're just trying to go straight down the track. But good to know that we're getting more support for somebody's wheel they bought, off of eBay that you've never heard of, or details of it, they're scratched off.
It's a good point, because that's the benefit of iRacing, right? And having the resources and access to all the guys that tune the same stuff for the sim, and data, and who drives with what settings, and just knowing all that stuff, right? It's been it's been a huge sort of avenue that's opened up for us to just have access to those guys to help us, and we'll get into that more in the future in some of the dev diaries that are coming up as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, you had the first dev diary out of the gate there, and when can we expect the next one?
In the next couple of weeks, we're actually shooting a whole bunch next week at the NASCAR facility here in Concord, but there'll be at least 2 more, if not 3, leading into launch, kind of spread out all through late August and early September.
Yeah, and I find that that's the most fascinating part of the dev diaries is not only does it humanize you guys, I get to know who you are as people that are behind the game, but also like what it actually takes. And we're going to go into that later on when I'm asking some questions. I'm going to hit you with like, what does it feel like to be actually behind the scenes making these things happen? Because there's a rhyme and reason for every single decision that gets made, for these games whenever they come out to everybody. And I know it's a difficult balance you have to constantly keep after. But one thing I do want to pivot from is from not just NASCAR 26 and NASCAR as an entity, but all the drivers that make NASCAR what it is. And my favorite driver has always been Kurt Busch. And then after Kurt retired, I moved over to Kyle Busch. And Kyle is,
Oh boy.
he was one of my favorite drivers of all time, and losing him was just so impactful to everybody. I know everybody here in the chat feels it too, and I know that that's like one of the biggest questions you guys get asked all the time. And Cool Dude 0288 wanted to know if there's going to be a tribute to Kyle Busch in the game, or if he's going to be in the game at all.
Yeah, I see all the 8s and the 18s flowing in the chat right now. There's a strong argument to be made. He's not just one of the greats; he's one of the best to ever do it. Right? The man is a winner through and through. That showed in his personality on and off the track. And we worked very closely with NASCAR, with RCR, with KBM and the family, and just wanting to make sure that we do things respectfully and the right way. And so you're going to see some tribute things in the UI. You're going to see his that tribute sticker that just rolled by in chat. That's going to be available in the car creator. And then he will be selectable in the Cup Series, so you'll be able to choose him
Dang.
as a driver. He won't show up in the AI field, but for those that want to use him in quick race and in multiplayer, he will be available. And that's, like I said, that's just a nod to one of the greats, and we feel the exact same way that you do. Love him or hate him, he was a winner, and he was tough to beat, and he was all those things on the racetrack that you want a race driver to be.
Let's go.
Absolutely. And that's good to hear. I know that's going to make a lot of people happy for sure, because they felt that impact, and to be able to at least drive as him is going to be awesome. And I assume that Austin Hill's probably going to be in the AI field themselves, because that's who I saw in the trailer you guys released.
Yep, he's in there as well.
Okay, so the 33 car will live on in the AI field.
Let's go.
And we're going to move on to talking about something a little different, and this is online multiplayer. And mainly a lot of it is, this question right here is a lot to do with the decision to finally move over to the cross-platform, so you can play with each other that are on different consoles. And this one from Jacob, Jacob D's Motor, I believe is how you say his name.
That was a
How do
W.
you invite players from other platforms to your lobby? So what is the lobby system going to look like now that there's cross-platform?
Yeah, so that's a good question. It's basically a filtering system. So what we did sort of intentionally is we allow you to select which platforms you want to participate in. So if you're on, just picking one of the 3, if you're on Xbox, you can turn on whether you want to see the PlayStation and the PC lobbies for those who have Xbox turned on, and vice versa. There's no like direct invitational system, but there is password protected lobbies. So if you're in PC and you set up a lobby with a password, and I'm on Xbox, that's how you can get that sort of more controlled environment for league guys, or if you want to race with trusted friends and have a better experience. That's the way that you would do that. So we're excited about cross-platform. It's obviously something we didn't get to for N25, but it was sort of top of the list for our online features for this year. So glad to have that in.
Beautiful. Yeah, I know that's going to be. It's going to make the fields a lot stronger in certain ways, and maybe even weaker in some ways. I'm not sure how that's going to all work out, especially whenever you see the PC crowd that are going to be so die hard on their wheels, racing against people with controllers. I didn't have a problem racing with other
Oh,
people
it's
with
on
controllers.
Discord.
There's a lot of amazing controller drivers out there that can drive better than I can on a wheel. So I totally understand that. And we're going to move things on a little bit here, speaking about controllers, speaking about console in particular. This one comes from Commander, asking, will the new game have better controller support with stronger vibrations and feedback? And has it been optimized so controller users aren't at a big disadvantage compared to the wheel users?
Yeah, there's a lot of parts to that question. That's like 6 questions in one, I think. But
Yeah, there is a lot going on there.
I mean, I think let's be honest. I think there will always be some level a a equally experienced driver on a wheel with an equally
Commander just die?
experienced driver a bit of a
Oh.
benefit to a wheel, right? And that's just purely physical,
We'll see.
right?
They've only asked a couple
There's more
questions.
modulation in how much you can move the gas pedal. There's more degrees in how much finite you have in your steering. Like that's just nature of the beast stuff.
It's a NASCAR Discord
However,
server.
um, again, one of the things that we really expanded this year is the controller settings. And I will preface all of this by saying you have to be very careful in those advanced control screens. We had some of this in N25, not as much as we do in N26, but when you go in there, you can just as much mess yourself up as you can make things better. And so, with that in mind, one of the things that we added this year is a visual grid where you can actually see as you adjust sort of how much play you have in your throttle or how dead or how accurate the brake pressure is, things like that. You can visually see it. So if you turn down the dampening on the braking that really slows that quick pull when you pull on the brake, you can see how much that's actually slowing it in terms of what the game is seeing, and use that to kind of dial in um, settings that you like. It's as with you and I have had this conversation a million times, but as with a lot of our games where we provide you so many sliders and so many options, it's one of those things where it's going to take a minute, right? It's going to take you going in there and practicing and running a ton of laps to get it where you want it to be. But I think the tools are there to really dial it in even more and get them closer to what the wheel users are experiencing.
Fantastic. Yeah, I know the newer PlayStation controllers. I was kind of caught off guard the first time I ever played NASCAR 25 on the new PlayStation controller, and you had that mushy, feel on the
Yeah.
actual. Yeah, I didn't like it at all. Some people absolutely swear by it. I was like, I don't like this. I like the real springiness of it. But it's good to know that there's going to be more options. So hopefully that answers the question there.
We'll see.
For
They haven't.
Commander.
They've only asked a
Is
couple
there anything
questions
else you
here.
wanted to add to the game controllers screen? Not really.
We'll see about the
Good stuff.
controls, really.
All right, we're going to move on then.
Accomplishes within the game.
Next one is going to be by Dalhoon. Now, this is a physics-based question. What was the need for the full physics overhaul that was mentioned in the trailer? Is it because of the dynamic racing surface, just for more realistic handling, both, neither?
So I wouldn't say it's a need, right? I would say every year and every month, even when we're not shipping, we are constantly improving the game, right? And so a big part of that is constantly assessing where we're at on each vehicle, how they're being reviewed by fans, the feedback and things like that. And so um the bulk of those changes this year are really in the tire model itself and this notion of being able to feel a little bit better where traction is going to break, especially under hard braking. Again, it's really easy to just kind of snap your finger and go to full brake. And last year, the only way you could really lock up the brakes, or the only fear you had of locking up the brakes if you had no assists on, was to really mash that, right?
Right.
This year, it's going to be a lot easier to lock up the brakes, which makes it harder to drive, right?
Yeah.
And back to that messing with your modulation settings and things like that, you're going to really want to dial that stuff in, especially at San Diego and Watkins Glen and anywhere that there's those sort of hard bus stops or hard lefts like San Diego has and things like that. So that's the goal. Again, we've got a dev diary coming up shortly, which features Steve Reese and Mike Berg. Steve Reese is one of the vehicle dynamics guys that works for across everything that iRacing does, not just the NASCAR game, but he is a physics guy. He was literally a race engineer on some of the race shops here in the NASCAR world here in Concord. And Mike Berg is one of the gameplay tuners. So we're going to get into a whole bunch of specifics. You know, again, you and I have had this chat many times, kind of behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
last year we had to start talking very early about the game, and before honestly we even knew a whole lot about what was truly going to make it, what was going to hit the cutting room floor and things like that.
Mhm.
These dev diaries that we have coming up are going to be a lot meatier. They're going to actually talk about the driving and the features and really dig in and show some things, show some differences in 25 versus 26. And so we're excited about that, to really get into some more specifics, but I don't want to take away too much from that on here.
Right. Yeah, and I think a lot of it, goes without saying, but like when it comes down to the driving model, it was just absolutely a step up from anything we had previously on a console game with NASCAR 25, and I loved how the cars drove. And I think a lot of my own personal question would be just like, what's the biggest change do you think with the driving model? We have a new tire model. What is that? Is based on temperatures, how fast they wear out, things like that.
Yeah, I mean it's really ultimately it's twofold. One is the changes that we made with dynamic track, which I think again we'll get into a lot more in the dev diary, but that's a big one, was just having a more dynamic system across the board and being able to have a system that can adapt to a changing track. Um, but I agree with you as a baseline. I mean, one of my favorite moments from 25
No, there
was
hasn't been
it
yet.
was you and it was one other influencer. And again, I did a lot of talking, right? I did a lot of, yeah, it's the best driving game I've made in 20 years. But like, you know me, right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not that guy. I don't say a bunch of stuff if I
No,
can't
you
back it
don't.
up. Um, but it was fun to watch you guys actually see it. And the text I would get back immediately. I mean, I think it was 5 minutes into you playing the game, you were already texting me and be like, wow, you guys
Like this is
actually did it. Yeah.
yeah, and that was
And
the feeling off of the truck and the Xfinity car on the right rear off the corner. I was like, okay,
yeah,
this is something we haven't felt before, because I
yeah,
always felt like the Heat games, the cars pivoted off of the x-axis,
yep.
and even
And
even
that's
like the old ETX ones, they did the same thing.
and that's iRacing, right? They're the best in the
Hmm.
world for a reason, and it's not a joke. Like everything that they are experts in is in this game. The tracks, the cars, the physics, like it all translates. Now, obviously there's layers on top with assists and things like that that they don't necessarily have available in the sim, but the core of what's there is truly the same,
They've
right? And that's where we've been trying to go for a long. I mean, like you, I've been doing this too long, and the dream 25 years ago was, man, I wish iRacing could do console games, right? And
Right.
here we are. Took us a while to get here, but
Yeah.
here it is. We're finally here.
And I think there was a confusion about that in NASCAR 25. A lot of people didn't really understand who was behind the physics of 25. Everybody was like, well, I think these are just these canned physics from this game and this game, or whatever they were pulling it from. I was like, that's kind of not even remotely close to the truth. Like,
Yeah.
iRacing deserves a lot of credit for what the work that they did.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to something different. We got Dale Jr. Fan Freak asking, what's the number one addition or improvement in this year's game that you are most excited about? You personally, what's got you excited this time? Like, you can't wait to tell people, or you don't want to show all your cards yet, but
I was gonna say that's like asking a dad to pick his favorite kid or
yeah,
something. I will tell you this: I've been very proud of our graphics leap. Um, the new particles, the new lighting, the new like the motion blur, and we didn't really call that out in the gameplay video, right? The new skies look
yeah,
amazing. there's dynamic lighting with the clouds or the sun going behind the clouds during sessions and things like that. And so people caught that without us pointing it out, which was for me sort of a blessing, right? Even like the grime that builds up on the cars from the new particle system, the better looking smoke from all the burnout stuff that we did, like all of that stuff was noticed pretty much immediately by all the various influencers and stuff. So that was fun to see.
Yeah, for me, seeing the car at night on the new training mode, and we can talk about that later on. But
Yeah.
the night lighting at Homestead, I saw a massive difference just off of that alone. So, yeah, I noticed the graphical improvement, especially with clouds and all that stuff. And I don't know if anybody's going to be asking about clouds as much as me because I'm a weather nerd and I love severe weather and everything. But so the clouds, because you say skyboxes, and if people are new to that term, skybox is usually a BM, like it used to be a BMP picture or whatever it was back in the day, but they're basically just a 2D image way in the distance. And this time around, it looked like there was volumetric clouds actually forming inside of the Unreal Engine. Is that what's happening?
Yep, totally. And that's the thing, right? That moment when you're at Homestead or whatever and some clouds roll by and that sun goes behind it for a few minutes while you're running some laps. It's dramatic, and it changes the feel of the whole game, and it adds to the immersion, right? We always talk about
Yeah.
emotion and immersion being so important in these games. And it just adds to that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see that for sure. We're gonna move on to a question from Slayer. Slayer 90. Will blown tires be a thing? If so, will it occur online as well?
So there's no terminal damage. It's honestly just a prioritization thing, right? There's so many things that are ahead of that in our minds from a priority perspective. Getting a spectator mode in online, which we still don't have for 26. Doing some silly season stuff. I know that's a huge one for all the career guys. Like at the end of the day, game development is all about managing priorities and just putting things in a particular order. And so we've we've taken steps, right? Like DNFs are a thing for the AI cars. The player can DNF whenever they want by going into the pause menu, and so we're taking steps along the path to eventually get to terminal damage and get to more detailed stuff like that down in the future. But um, we're just not there yet, largely because of the other priorities. So, like using online as the example, right? The reason spectator mode happens to be one of my own personal, like, I want
Yeah.
that. I've wanted that since the beginning. It's just, we've got to get there, right? And so cross platform is such a massive undertaking for the entire online team that you end up doing things in chunks. And so we know it's important. We know the leagues want it, and we will get it. It's just it's kind of where all these things fall in priority order.
Right. And we know that we have new replay cameras that are coming out as well.
Yeah.
So we want something like that. I know me personally, I just would love to have a photo mode, just a photo mode where you can go in and just, as a creator, I'd love to be able to take pictures where I want to for thumbnails and things like that. But
Well,
with
that's,
the new replay cameras,
that's the other thing, right? And part of my job is marketing and publishing in that side of the world as well, and to give these league guys better tools for spectator mode and things like that. At the end of the day, it's more marketing, right? Like they're putting that stuff on YouTube, they're putting the races on YouTube, they're doing cool camera angles, they're doing all that stuff. So it's ultimately a rising tide floats all boats situation. And so, like I said, we've got to keep the prioritization list going, and we'll get it.
all right. Well, we're gonna move on to Dale Jr. Fan Freak. I think they're a fan of Dale Jr. How has the paint booth been improved compared to last year's game? I know that was one of the things that was shown in the trailer. Hey, we have made improvements to the paint booth, but what can we expect this time around?
Yeah. So this is like kind of a perfect segue to what I was just talking about. This year is I would call it a transformational shift. We have gone to, I believe it's 50 shapes per panel. So it's technically not 50 shapes, it's 50 total. So that counts numbers, that counts anything that you can put on the side of a car counts as part of that 50. So it's 50 layers really per panel. But I think we had 7 or 8
Yeah.
last year, something like that.
It was under 10. I know that.
So it's massive, right? And so you can mirror one side of the car to the other side of the car, the left side to
That
the
was
right
big.
side. But speaking to what I was just talking about, we don't quite yet have the save it as a decal or save it as a sticker so you can put it on the hood, or so there's still again improvements that we'll keep doing over the years, but this one step that we took this year is more like what I would call 3 or 4, just in terms of that. We hope to get a video of that out before we ship. We're going to try to get a build to one of our favorite community folks and have her do a video, but we'll get that date as it comes.
Fantastic. That's going to be exciting. Yeah, I know that whenever I was making cars, I got to say, just doing the online races, the creativity that was out there was incredible. Sometimes they passed off as like cars in the field. I was like, wait a minute, that's somebody made that. That's incredible. Like they did a lot.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to what I said, right? Like at the end of the day, people making videos and showing how to do all that stuff, it's ultimately promoting the game and how awesome the game is. So I'm all for it.
Right. All right, moving on to Jersey Devils 68. Last year, Cup cars couldn't run on a series exclusive tracks like Portland, Lime Rock, etc. Will this be available even making custom championships? And can we use our own car in championship mode? So this comes back to that question a lot of people ask, hey, can we drive on this track with this series, etc., etc.? You know what I'm talking about. You're very aware of this.
So the championship question is yes. So you can use your custom car in championship mode, and that is new for 26. We did not let you do that for technical reasons in 25. So that is a new thing. But again, the cars at every track, that's another one for me. I have a lot, but that's another one that's one of my personals. And again, the reality is I think we have 32 tracks times the 4 series, times all the difficulty levels, running AI lines, all that stuff. It just becomes a ton of resources and a ton of hours put in. And so we will get there. As long as I am on this title, it will come eventually. It just takes a couple of cycles to get to that point. And, I hear this a lot in chats from influencers and certain topics that, they don't have what a game had 20 years ago, right? It's like everything
you were part
is
of those
fresh.
games you made 20 years ago.
I was, and I know where we need to get to. I know what we need to add, but it's not like we get those for free, right? Like I can't Control C, Control V something from 25 years ago just because it's been done before. It's a new engine. There's a whole bunch of reasons, but perhaps, iRacing is going to do things the right way. Not to say that games would not have done it the right way in the past, but they want to do things the right way. They want to attack them the right way. They want to build them for the long haul. I keep saying this, but we are not in the business of swooping in for a couple of years and doing a NASCAR game and going away. And unfortunately, that has been what has happened for a long time with this NASCAR license. And so everybody, NASCAR, the race teams, iRacing, all of us are aligned that we are building a franchise. We are here for the long term, and we are going to build this thing into an epic franchise over the long haul. And so a lot of these things just take time, and we'll get there.
And I know the community, their whole assumption was that it takes time to build all these setups, because you have to have setups for each different, like an ARCA car at a track it doesn't run at. You'd have to come up with this fictional setup and times that however many cars you have versus the tracks you're putting in that year or taking out that year based off the schedule of NASCAR. I can imagine that would be the case. And with doing that inside of Unreal Engine, a lot of people didn't know that back whenever you were using the Unity engines, whenever Unity was like a thing, most people were like, oh, well, if they just put it on Unreal, it's all of our problems will be solved. And that's not the case, because Unreal is very difficult to work with as it is. But a lot of people didn't know that back then, that wasn't just Unity. You guys had a special Unity made for those games, or you were talking to Unity and they were giving you a special build to help do what you were trying to, get accomplished with your vision. And you were kind of limited sometimes because of that.
Yeah, and not even just that, but we don't even have access to that. Like everything you see in our people think, oh, the Heat games had XYZ. It's not the Heat game. Nothing in our game is the Heat game. Everything is rewritten. Everything is from the ground up. We don't own that. It was a different publisher. It was a different owner. That stuff is completely gone and has been completely rewritten in large part to be better by, like I said earlier, with the physics of iRacing and all of these different elements that have come into it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because it's something that you're always compared to, and I think you're always going to be. And that happens to me with, like, if I do a video series, it's always going to be compared to something I did in the past. So
Yep.
that's the reason why I want to bring it up, because I know people are asking about it.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Mav 524. Will the game be released the same time as console and PC this time around? And will the game also be cross-play with console and PC?
Yes, yes, yes. So September 18th for the regular launch, September 15th with the gold edition, all simultaneous. So every platform at the same time. They are all up for pre-order already right now. And then there's additional things you get with the gold edition. There's 4 monthly paint scheme packs that will come out through the end of the year. You get some career accelerators, extra money, extra rep to help you advance quicker and things like that. But yeah, all at the same time and all across the same platforms.
Beautiful. All right. We'll move on to another gameplay question. Will the game be... Sorry, we already had that one. That was Mav. I'm sorry about that. No, this was a fun one that Fish Freak 447 wanted to know. What car do you daily?
Oh, Lord. Nothing exciting right now. I have this thing. My wife makes fun of me because I go back and forth from sports car to pickup truck. It's literally, if you look at my entire history, that's what it's been. So I currently have a F-150. My son, however, my 65.
I don't even care about this real quick. I just want to say,
you've been up here in this.
This is what they want to
If you
answer
go out
because
Concord roads and drive up towards Mooresville.
No, I want to know what NASCAR 6
DEI
what
building
car
and
you
all that.
freaking drives.
If you ever want a pickup truck for
Whatever.
you guys that are out there that love this stuff to restore, that's your place. Go up to Mooresville and find one. But we had one. He convinced me to buy it when he was in high school and was like, "Yeah, we can work on it together on the weekends." Blah blah blah, and it didn't work out. He had things like, when are we going to put AC in it and when are we going to paint it? Neither of which was on my list. I'm like, it needs so much stuff before those two things. So we unfortunately had to sell it. But that thing was a ton of fun. 3 on the tree.
Yep.
This is so stupid.
1500, so we're both truck guys.
He's taking longer
to
to spend
kind of
more
went over this
time.
one, so we're just going to touch on it real fast. But will the user be able to DNF too? You mentioned when you open up the start menu, you can DNF from there. But are you going to DNF if you get in a crash, or how does that whole thing work?
No, so no forced DNFs for the player. It will do it for the AI. And again, that's back to priorities, right? Like we put it in there. It's in there if you want to do it. A lot of it too is if you look at what happens in the real world, like
the first couple questions are pretty good.
Sometimes forces their hand, and it is what it is. But a lot of times, take a damaged car, you take it back to the garage, they make a decision. Is the time spent fixing it going to be worth the positions I might gain? Are there no more positions to gain? Or is our car just crap and we want to go and skip the traffic? Like, who knows? They can DNF for whatever they want. You think back to the old start and park teams, right? Like those guys would run, they wouldn't have an extra set of tires and they'd DNF and claim it on suspension or whatever. So I joke with somebody the other day, I see a lot of stuff about, we want to sim races for the road courses that we don't want to drive in career,
right?
Which is funny to me for a bunch of reasons. But now it's like, all right, you can't sim them, but you can at least hop in and immediately DNF. So there you go. You can skip the road courses.
Fantastic. All right, another online multiplayer question from Sniper Assassin 21. What are some of the safety violations added? I assume the blend line, but any others? Because we saw that in the trailer. Safety violations. Yeah. Everybody's been buzzing about this. What does it mean? Can you tell us? Because the consensus is it's only the yellow line rule. It's just the blue cone. What is it?
Yeah, it's actually got nothing to do with black flags or penalties or any of that. This is purely for online. There's a point based system that's an accrual system for if you're basically being a menace. And if you pass a certain threshold of being a menace, it'll toss you automatically. And so it's to help try to clean up the guys who are, laps down trying to wreck people or just generally try to help make a better experience. I still say the best way to do that is find some friends, hop in a league, do the passworded lobbies. Like,
This is a good
there's
question.
going to be a
Leto.
little bit of chaos in every public lobby. That's just part of the charm of public lobbies. But
Yes.
anyway, this is purely a feature around trying to solve some of that stuff.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I know that was a big one. So the yellow line violation, that's not going to be a thing.
The what?
The yellow line. So at a super speedway, going below the yellow line, that's not
No.
part of the safety violation. So I just want
That's
to clear
not
that
part
up.
of it. No.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. I love go-kart racing. If you could have one diecast, what would it be?
Oh my word.
Oh, I have almost every 3-car, I think, from that era of in the 90s when he was running special all-star schemes, or the Winston as it was called back then. The only one, literally the only one I don't have is the silver car. So that's an easy answer.
Easy answer for that one. Okay, so going back to what we were talking about, you're making NASCAR 26 from 25, and this is caveat to what I'm going to ask you, but the whole process of starting NASCAR 26. When did that happen? Whenever you started promoting NASCAR 25, how far were you already? Because I think some people don't understand how dev cycles work.
Yeah. So the answer to that question is we've already pieced off some people to start working on 27, right? So it's to your point, it's a constantly evolve. The answer is as soon as you can, right? And so certain features are more locked down and or unable to be updated than others, right? And so you take the resources that are on those things that are kind of locked down at that point and you get them going on whatever's next down the pipeline. And that's the way that we can afford to do all these incremental updates that take tons of resources and tons of time, right? Because the real answer is once you back out submission time and testing time and gold and getting approved and licensing approvals and all that stuff, what appears to a user to be a 12-month window quickly becomes a 9-month window. And then depending on how things go, it could get shorter and shorter and shorter. And so that's a big part of it, is getting those guys moved over as soon as you can.
Okay. Yeah, it was Polar 1225 that wanted to know what your favorite part of making NASCAR 26 has been so far.
I really like just kind of the end result, right? Like being able to show it off at the end and getting the feedback and knowing that we're listening and going in the right direction. That starts with people like you, but it's really just that. Like I enjoy the support that we get from the industry, the drivers that participate, all that stuff. And for me, the reward is kind of seeing that we're headed the right direction.
Yeah, and speaking on that, Blader Dragon Sonic was asking hardest feature to develop. So what was the most difficult for you to develop in 26?
The hardest feature overall, and this is going to be a double-edged sword and get a bunch of angry people in the chat, but it's damage. Easily, it's damage. There's there's a fundamental challenge where there's nothing in the world that looks like a damaged NASCAR vehicle, right? Doesn't matter if it's a truck, an ARCA car, a cup car. Cup cars are even unique in the amount of carbon fiber that's used and things like that. But when you really see a cup car from the old days, even tumbling down, I always remember the Rusty Wallace one for whatever reason, when he was just tumbling down the straightaway.
Oh, the Talladega crash, yeah.
or Talladega. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole backstretch.
So, and this is, I want everybody to preface, this is my personal opinion. This is not an iRacing statement. This is Matt Lewis's personal opinion. When the bar is that, right? That's what people expect for it to look like when you really say like, hey, we're going to make damage better. The reality is it's going to be very, very, very difficult, if not impossible, to get that to that level. So then it's a question of, okay, if you can't get there in a video game to that level, where can you get and what is enough for fans to be happy about it, right? If I did nothing for 2 years and all we did was work on damage, we might get reasonably close to where you could actually count it as a big bullet and say, hey, we actually improved damage. But the reality is we're constantly doing things behind the scenes. We're constantly making it better. It's just, it's really hard to take that actual step and say, hey, we're really going to focus on it until we get further down the road and we can put more resources against it. Like I said, where there aren't other super high priorities going on.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, they expect soft body physics like you see in BMG, and they don't realize how hard that is on the CPU, how much that has to work to make that happen. Now, that's just 1 or 2 cars or a few AI cars that you can plop down and beam. But when you have a field of 40 plus cars wrecking each other all at once, it has to calculate all that. And on a console, that's a tall order, right?
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing that most people don't factor in, right? Is like really good looking damage is going to affect graphics at the end of the day. It just is. There's 40 cars in the field. A lot of these other racing games that focus on damage have 12 cars in the field, 20 maybe. We have 40, right? And so if you start getting into a situation where all 40 cars are individually damaged to different levels and unique, everything's 100% unique, it just gets so labor intensive. And to your point, these consoles, they are what they are, right? It's not like a gaming PC where you can just tweak the settings to up or down depending on the, graphics card that you have and things like that. Like it has to just work on the consoles. And so anyway, we're going way off topic, but that's an easy question to what is the hardest one.
Yes. All right. So now I do want to pivot and talk about career mode. I know people want to know career mode. I know you're ready for it, but the biggest one is from Mata here with some colons and stuff. Many people that play the career mode are hoping for more team inclusion, maybe being able to start our own team, hire drivers, or join other teams. We can even fit in silly season into this whole thing. So you can just go ahead and just tell us what's going on with career mode, because a lot of people said, oh, I saw the trailer. They didn't say anything about career mode. It's going to be the exact same thing as the last game.
Yeah. So, silly season. Let me just talk about silly season here for a second. So,
have at it.
In NASCAR, there are a ton of entities involved, right? And so you've got drivers, you got sponsors, you got teams, you have OEMs, and you have, in some cases, lifetime contracts with either sponsors or OEMs. Some of the OEMs have their own driver development programs where they've taken a kid from literally 10 or 12 years old in a go-kart and funded him his entire life. And there's an expectation that he stays with a given manufacturer. And so those things weren't as prominent 30 years ago, 25 years ago, back when we were doing the EA games, but they still exist in some level back then, but it wasn't as it wasn't a walled garden as much as it is today. And so that's not to say we're not going to get there. Again, this is another personal one for me where I think silly season and rumor mill stuff and all of that, X driver is retiring and there's a shot to take over his ride and all those things. That goes back to what I said earlier, where it's all about the emotion and the immersion of career mode. And so we want to get there. We will get there. We've had some meaningful conversations this season, actually, with the NASCAR teams and NASCAR themselves, and everybody's on board. It's just, again, we've got to come up with the right design and start working on it over time so that we can ultimately ultimately get there. The big thing I always tell people is I think it's kind of a mixed bag in some people's favorites of whether it was like '05 or '06 or whatever, but all those career mode ones, it's the fifth or sixth iteration of that NASCAR game when they finally got sort of the, you know, pinnacle of what the career mode was supposed to be. And so we're on that track. We're going to get there.
He could just say it's not happening and move on to other
maybe
things.
being
like
able
career
to
mode.
start our own team and hire drivers or to join other teams. That's the question they were asking.
Yeah. So to me, all that's related.
Something he's trying to dodge.
Ultimately what we want is you to have a path. And if you don't want to focus on the hiring people and being the quote unquote owner, and you just want to drive and you want to go contract to contract, that should be a long-term option for us as well.
All right, moving on to a gameplay question from Normal Player 737.
Nothing burger right
is there
there.
going to be split screen for 26? If not, what was the reason
here's
for
split
not
screen.
including this feature? And it wasn't in 25 either.
It wasn't. And you know, I don't want this to sound like we're making excuses or whatever, but this is less a NASCAR problem and more a racing game where the market is shifted in general problem. Again, I'm a dad. I love sitting on the couch playing with my kids back in the day as well, but it comes down to graphics and where we are in terms of rendering, right? When you have a racing game with 40 cars on the track and all that stuff, you already have a difficult time rendering and making things look good. Then when you do it twice on the same screen, plus you do it a third and a fourth time for both rear view mirrors, a fifth and a sixth time for the smaller mirrors that are on the side panels of the cars, it gets really, really expensive computationally to render. And then you only have two choices at that point. You can make it look worse. You can turn things off, or you can kind of just turn the quality down overall on the game. And so I don't want to say, you know, I would never say never, but it is another one of those things where to do it right and to do it in the way that iRacing would want to do it, it requires a massive undertaking of optimization in the graphics engine to get it back.
All right.
Sounds like they don't.
Chris
this
M.
is not
Hansen
even like
wanted to know what's one new feature for NASCAR 26 that fans should be excited for? Like which one that we haven't talked about yet?
Peak performance, I think, is going to be interesting. So there's a side door feature actually in peak performance that I think is going to be really useful, especially even to guys that have played the game for a while. And that is, as it evaluates you, like
the
training mode.
You can say ratings
is going to obviously be helpful to new players.
But
even the guys who have been around a while, it suggests an AI difficulty.
Boom. Do it.
So as part of your rating and part of the stuff as you go through it, at the very end, it'll kind of say, you know, 98 or 96 or whatever, and give you that range so that as you're playing, especially in career mode and things like that, you kind of have a baseline. One of the things where I think we've always had a struggle is the first question the game asks you literally on cold boot when you buy it is it comes up with like, I don't even remember how many there are, six-ish options of like, what skill level do you want to race on? And it's like, especially if you're new, you're like, I have no idea what to put it on. And so again, it's this notion of it takes a while to go in and run some practice laps and mess with some settings and figure out where you want to be. But peak performance will help you get there faster.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to another gameplay question. This one from Firelinks 1108. Will we have the ability to manually drive the pace laps, caution laps, pit lane to and from the garage during practice, cool down lap, etc.? So are we going to have any of the manual driving experience that
the answer, Jeff?
No.
That's the simple answer. Yeah. I mean, I think some of these things could make their way in the long term, right? Like I think driving in and out of real garage stalls is interesting and cool. I think being able to obviously pick your pit stall like they do in real life would be cool down the road. But I think the driving under caution in particular to me is a sim feature, right? And that's not necessarily what this game is aimed at. Again, I never say never, right? Like maybe this is a thing that we do years down the road, when like I said, all the other things have been crossed off. But to me, this is another prioritization one, right?
Right. No, I know what you're talking about there. I mean, that's one of those dead horse things that you've been asked so many times.
Every year we answer it.
Yep. Which is good because they're keeping you honest. They're like, okay, are you going to do it this year?
It should be a setting. If they added that, it should be like a
know,
setting.
But
you skip it or you do it.
and there's people that say, be careful what you wish for there, because I've done iRacing and I've paced around Talladega with only 5 green flag laps before. I know it from both sides. This one from Goin, asking what AI improvements will be in the game, pit logic, and the lack of variety in running order or major issues in NASCAR.
This is a good one.
So
W going.
All that pit logic, the way that you would sit on pit road for a long time waiting for the next car and how that all worked. But what improvements have you made in the AI when it comes to pit logic?
Did we actually allow Gary to ask a question? Was that allowed through
Gary? Yeah, that's going on you
through the filter.
That is Gary. You got.
I don't know who that guy is. All right, this one opens up a lot. I'm just messing with you, Garrett. Where is he? There he is. He's laughing at me. All right. Yeah. So first and foremost, we've talked about this notion of constant improvement, right? Making it better every year. There's just some baseline things in here that, like, yeah, we're gonna look at and make them better. Pitting logic, them getting on and off a pit road better than you. That was a big one last year. We fixed the getting off, I think, at least a little bit in some of the patches. The getting on was still pretty difficult to get on pit road better than they can. So that's been addressed. There are 2 fixes for driver ratings that I know Gary will be happy about. One is there was just a general fix to the variance overall. It just wasn't wide enough.
So Wallach and Butterbean Queen aren't going to be winning every single ARCA race that I race in?
Correct. So it's a wider berth. There's more variance just overall. But in addition, we added another slider. So if you still don't like the changes that we made, or it's still not variable enough, you can now take a slider and make it less or more. So you can kind of get it back to where it was last year-ish if you want.
Oh, or this is good.
Way down. Our new fix is kind of in the middle, if you imagine it that way, and you
lag.
Can kind of go back to lag.
I know, and there's a lot of tools in that box when it comes to
that's good.
Sliders, and a lot of people don't really understand them all, and that's something that I do want to I'll go into later on down the road before 26 does.
But it's a slider too, so you can do it
like
if you want Coreheim to win
differently,
week in, week out,
you know, with the pit. With the AI logic, especially long term. So like if you're in a long green flag run,
yeah,
you know, the difficulties of the AI not passing you and all that, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's a dead horse thing.
So it is and it isn't, right? Like you and I have had this discussion ad nauseum, and I think you are in the smaller group that has taken the time to really go in there and understand all of those sliders. It's a lot.
No, you cannot.
I've even had this conversation directly with Gary as well. Like, I feel like if you spend the time and if you go in there and you really put some effort into it, you can get it to where is it going to be perfect? No. Like it's a very complicated system, and the real answer is twofold. One, some players want to go in and win, right? They want to go into career mode. They don't want to do the finish 30th, then finish 20th, then finish top 10. They just set up their game where they go in and they dominate, and we have to give them an experience that works for that. And then there's other guys that want to claw their butts off to get the 30th, and it needs to work for that as well. And so again, back to my list of like, there's 32 tracks and 4 series and tuning all these things and all that stuff. It's like doing all that and getting every single ounce of strategy stuff correct. You know, I don't know if a lot of people even know this in the real world, but it used to be back in the day, and I'm talking about, you know, early 2000s, late 90s, whatever, you had the pit crew, you had, the guys on the box, and they were making the calls in real time, and that was the end of it, right? Now, yes, they've limited how many people go to the track to make those decisions, but there's a whole army of engineers that are sitting in a room at Penske and Hendrick and 2311 and all. I've seen them. I've seen these rooms. They look like the rooms where you launch the space shuttle from,
I've
right?
seen them,
They've got
the command centers.
SMT data coming in. They've got all the broadcast cameras coming in. They've got all the pit information. They've got information from the spotters. They've got all the radio traffic. And so what appears even in real life to be a simple decision of like flipping a stage or some of these things that they come up with, that's the product of 10, 15 really smart people that are smarter than you and I combined coming up with that stuff and figuring that out. So that's a long way to say, like, the logic on its own isn't always enough, right? There's going to be things that we even have to evolve over time as the real engineers figure it out and we kind of look at it and go back and look at it in the game. So a lot of work the short answer is a lot of work has been done. There's still more work to do. But I think there's enough in there for this year that we're making the right progress in the right areas.
Beautiful. This is a physics
Nothing
question
burger answer.
by Sniper Assassin 21. How will the dynamic track work? Is it just set to change based on the amount of laps ran? Will it get darker, quicker with higher wear or lower races? And I think a lot of people want to know that when it comes to the dynamic tracks, because in the dev diary, they said that, well, it's going to be from medium to long length races. So how is it going to work? Because some people think it's going to be copy pasted from this session to session to session.
We said medium to longer because we weren't sure at the time exactly what number. So it's 13% and up for sure. That's when it will work. We feel like, again, we kind of went across the board in every series and looked at, 13 in some of the series gets really short. And so it's pretty drastic and dramatic in those races, but I feel like it's a good starting point. So that's the first question is it's 13% and up, but the way it works is really, I don't want to oversimplify it, but it generally takes it from a single groove racetrack to a multi-groove racetrack.
Right.
And it's the full length of the entire weekend. So when you come in lap 1 of practice, that's when it's the greenest. There's sort of one lane of grip if you can find it. Very difficult, more difficult to drive, certainly. And over time, those other lanes will open up, and that includes moving into qualifying and moving into the race. But it's truly lap 1 of practice all the way through the checkered flag of the race. It constantly adapts and changes.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, because I know that sometimes in NASCAR 25, the top lane became so dominant on long runs. So
yeah, I'm assuming dynamic track will be on the line.
Where people
I'm assuming so.
Yep.
All right,
it's a whole
another one there for physics. I'm going to move on. We're going to have to rapid fire some more here. When can we see the rosters for each series? That's what Jacob Lawson wanted to know.
The driver rosters. Soon. I don't have an exact date, but in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Dale, a junior fan freak with does dynamic lighting. So let's talk about the dynamic lighting really quick here. Does it feature real-time sunsets or lighting conditions only change between stages like last year's game? So let's put it in layman's term, is there going to be day to night transitions in the game?
So the time of day still only passes from session to session. So you're not going to have a particular session go from dusk into sunset into night. But what is different is dynamic lighting within those sessions. So it's really, as you said earlier, I think we already covered this, but the clouds, the sun going in and out of the clouds, and that aspect of it getting bright or darker.
So they have dynamic lighting, clouds will move, but they won't have day-night transitions.
in the sky
what a
within those
freaking
sessions.
All right. Well, that's one that I know a lot of people wanted to know about. And let's move on to Blash 2025. How does the new tire model work? Does it simulate heat, wear, changing grip, flat spots, or pressure changes differently than NASCAR 25? So, what's the difference between NASCAR 25's tire model and what we can expect from 26?
Yeah, so we covered this one kind of briefly, but it's mainly about braking and the edge of grip. And we're going to go over this a lot more in a dive diary coming up. But that's the predominance of it, is really just getting to a point where we can have you feel when you're on the edge, especially under heavy brake load. The feedback that we
Mike,
got,
they gotta make it
sort
like
of
super
universally,
looking
was
really
that
good.
it was too if you got in trouble, if you were late going into the bus stop or late going into the hard left in front of the aircraft carrier at San Diego or whatever, you could just mash the gas and kind of save yourself and keep cruising like there was no issue. So that's the main thing that we tried to fix is again, when your assists are off and you're playing sort of the more hardcore experience, that will not happen. You will now slide the brakes.
And that is a big change for sure. This one is a career mode question from New York Fan Alpha. What changes / additions are coming specifically to career mode in NASCAR 26? So what are the changes between career mode we saw in 25 to 26?
So again, I'll sort of generalize this one, but last year it was all about hiring and your work points, and it was really a staff and car loop that had a sort of short-term element, and you were, as soon as you finished one race, you're just kind of immediately prepping for the next race, and you're in this sort of small loop. Now you're going to have to balance that with what we're calling facility upgrades. And so you constantly have to think, do I use all of this money to do the short-term loop stuff that's going to immediately make the car faster? Or do I invest in the facility upgrades that will help me longer term and help me be better 3 or 4 or 5 races down the road, as opposed to only narrowly focusing on, I finished XYZ race, what's next, what's right ahead of my face. Right. And so it changes the loop pretty dynamically to have to make that short-term versus longer-term decision. There's some other things that are more ancillary. We added door bumper clear. There's a peak performance element to career as well, where you'll have these challenges that pop up that are teaching you as you progress into a new vehicle, how that vehicle differs from the previous vehicle you were driving. Maybe some things about, going to a track for the first time and what to watch out for. More like anecdotal story type stuff. But there's an influencer that we partner with that we typically give the first look at career mode. I don't know if you know the guy. His name's Jeff something.
Yeah.
If he's willing, we will certainly do that again before launch and have you kind of take a crack at that first. We're excited about it.
All right, fantastic. And I actually have a question that I was intrigued about with the trailer. Hopefully, I can ask one question, but I wanted to know what was going on with the involved in caution screen, because I know that's the huge one that blew up. Everybody's like, caution replays versus this versus. But involved in caution, to me in my head, when I saw that, I was like, oh, like you see on TV, like who was involved in the wreck.
Yep, that's it. It's purely there to try to ease the pain that there's no caution replays yet. That's another one, longstanding. We know it. We know we need to get it. It will come. It's just, again, brutally difficult. You have to save all sorts of extra states during the race. I won't say it's free, but it's kind of tied to mid-race saves. You have to do a very similar amount of technical things to have mid-race saves as you would with a caution replay. So typically in history, when you get one, you get the other at the same time kind of deal. So, but you're right. It shows you sort of a TV broadcast style overlay that shows who was involved.
There you go. Last question we're going to take for this AMA. Darth Cavino, have any of the drivers tested the game out, and what do they think about it so far?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it's been awesome to see just how passionate that entire community is. Willie was big last year for us. Larson has been equally involved. We're actually making making an effort right now to get him a build that he can show his kids, and get us some feedback from Larson himself. Majeski's been a lot. Alfredo's been a lot. Brad Perez. Hosevar texted me the other day. He's gonna, I'm sure, do his Twitch thing and be crazy on Twitch like he always does. But just yeah, the whole industry has been super supportive, and that's been really cool. It goes back to what you were asking about what my favorite parts are. Last year, LeVar Scott he was a development driver in the Rev team, I think, but it was like him and 3 other guys, and I took them the game for an early access look, and it was really cool because it was the first time they saw themselves, all 3 of them that were there. It was the first time they ever saw themselves in a video game. And that was pretty damn awesome to see them get excited and like have this full circle thing of like them remembering a lot of the old games and then seeing themselves and playing as themselves in a video game for the first time. It was awesome.
Well, there you have it. I mean, it comes full circle. I can't believe it's already been a year since the last one, but the changes that are coming are going to be things that you said at the beginning with NASCAR 25. We have a foundation, but now you take all this feedback that you got for a year and even up until this moment, you're getting constant feedback on what they would like to see in the game and all this stuff. And then you make all the decisions on that, ever evolving into NASCAR 27, 28, because you said, we're here to stay. We're not here to just go, boom, we're out of here. We're here to stay. We're listening to what you guys want. We want to build a game that I know personally in your head, your ambition on these games are insane compared to what you actually can do each year. And I know it's tough for you whenever we have conversations about that. You're like, man, I just wish we could do this. I wish we could do this. But it's just, it's how it works. But I want to thank everybody.
I wish I had a magic wand and could just do it all at once. But listen, I think the game is amazing. It drives great. The brake changes are amazing. I just think all of these things are going to continue to add up to a great experience for the fans and get them where they ultimately want to be. And we're excited about cross-platform. We're excited about Dynamic Track. Dynamic Track is one of the most requested things in terms of like the sim crowd versus the console crowd, right? That notion, as soon as iRacing was discussed as kind of bringing this on and taking this on and doing the console game, that was what everybody wanted was, hey, let's get the dynamic track stuff that happens in the sim over to the console side. And we are super excited to be able to do that this year. So good things.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Matt, for joining us, and thank you to everybody in the audience that tuned in here to listen into us waffle on about NASCAR 26. We do appreciate it, and thank you for your questions. I know we can't get to everybody, but we did what we could do. But outside of that, I want to thank you all. This concludes the AMA. Matt, thank you once again.
Sucks.
We'll
I mean,
next time.
Thank you, man. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you doing this.
There was some decent stuff that they
Not
showed.
a problem. Take care, everybody.
About.
Bye.
Everyone just like left. Oh, everyone just got kicked. Whatever. That was a mid. I mean, we got some decent things, I would say, but like I feel like this is how it feels. I feel like these updates are like stuff that you would expect from a new game, but then you would expect bigger, like there's still like some bigger features that they're adding, and I feel like there's not many bigger features that they're adding. I don't know. I have the notes right here. I can show it to you guys. I have everything they talked about. Let me make sure you hit subscribe, by the way, if you want to see more stuff like this. There we go, boom. Alright, we're gonna have this in the background, so just Discord. Alright, so I have my notes right here. These are all patches throughout the year, expected thing. I feel like, first of all, there's wasted questions, first of all. Like, I want to say that. There was obviously a few, like, there were some of them were people were asking what car he was driving. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, I don't know. I'll play this in the background while I talk since there's something. Rage. Is Mike in the VC? I can join if you want to. I'll hop in here. Why not? But I have the notes here. Are my notes that everything they're adding. The big one at the beginning, they dropped that one pretty decently early. Playable Cowbush. Cowbush is in the game. We could drive it now. That's nice. Yeah, I'm happy about that. I'm actually really happy about that. I'm gonna use them definitely a lot in the game. There is more controller settings and wheel support, so you're able to change your controller settings, and then they'll force you back for the wheels to make it's gonna get better. So you're able to adjust your controller settings the way you like it. They changed the physics to make the game better. So I think that's just like a little bit better, but they should say that. I feel like that's one that they should say every year though. That they're gonna say. No spectate mode in online. That one is a pretty big one, though. I guess no fictional like simulated races. No no tire blow, like your tires will not blow out, I guess, or fall apart. Player DNFs. There is player DNFs, but only in the menu, so you can skip races here. So I guess if you don't want to do that race, or you want to skip multiple races, you can kind of simulate it. You can do that better now, because that was a bad thing they had. 50 layers per side in the paint booth. That's gonna be good for those people that make paint booths. That's gonna be. I didn't realize there was only 7 things that you can only do per side, but because I'm not like a giant paint booth person, but at least people now can paint probably more realistic cars now. No saving a preset though, so you can't like save a logo you make, or you can't save anything like a combination that you make and then copy and paste it, and then boom. That's pretty big.
Leave those shoes there.
Dang.
Dude, I need to take some deep breaths.
No way you're getting that mad.
They didn't answer any question except for, oh, we'll add this. Or everything they did add was all easy stuff.
Can use a custom car in championship mode, which is, you know, good to that in that.
Yeah, but all that code is already in the game. All they had to do was add stuff to make it work together. It's not like it's really that new of a thing. I don't know. It's just they got to make their marketers and everybody happy by giving you all the graphical things. Oh, we did this with particles, and we did this with lighting and all this bullcrap that nobody cares about.
Give it. Dang, it's not something to rage over. No black flags,
because
so you cannot have there's no like driving you can't like exit the pit. Like there's no unsafe pit exit, and then there's no driving underneath the yellow, which I knew no yellow under the yellow was not gonna happen because
the reason why it's something to rage over is because people have been waiting like 20 years. And they have access to iRacing's code. iRacing owns all of NR's code. That's what they built iRacing off of. So it's kind of like sad.
They were also asking them, hold up. Dude, when someone asked them what car does he drive? What are we doing,
They
man?
probably filtered out the questions to make sure they picked all those worthless ones.
Burnouts are for hey, Jimmers, not Simmers.
Oh.
Not raging. Burnouts don't have to be in the game. Like, I don't care. Like that's unnecessary. But it's so simple to add that though.
DNFs are a day one thing though. Like NASCAR Ignition's trash game. I guess it didn't have DNFs, but it had tire blowouts at least. Even though it didn't work. They were trash too.
more online, keeping people like. So they were talking about some of the safety features that they were talking about before the no black flags. I don't even know what they were talking about, but it's just better to keep the people from driving less dumb, I guess. But it's still gonna keep the people driving dumb still. Whatever.
Yeah, but they could give the host more power.
They said something about
for
better
all the other games
damage. They keep
too.
working on it. They spent the most time on that, but still no player DNF, so it doesn't really matter.
I know, it's so stupid.
Yeah,
It's all
DNFs are in the
graphic.
game. There is
He
player
even knew that
DNFs.
was gonna piss people off. He's like, "This is gonna make people mad." That's because the players actually want gameplay changes. All the content creators, marketers, and investors want the graphical stuff because it sells more copies.
There is better
We're getting the EA treatment.
So there is player DNFs, but you have to do it in the menu. It seems like down that you can just retire from the race.
Yeah, he said you can crash and then you can retire from the race.
So stupid.
Or you can go into
Why
the pit
can't they just
and
have
fix
it?
your car in 17 seconds.
Yeah. Why does it? Is that what he said? Or you can fix your car?
Yeah, he said it's 17 seconds. I swear I heard that somewhere. That 17 seconds was the max damage or something. Didn't he say that?
You could choose probably mid race and that's what I'm assuming. Real damage, so. Shades of
Something
EA.
in the pit stop was 17 seconds.
What else was there? No silly season, which I kind of knew that was not. Dude, when they started asking career mode, did you see where he was starting like he was dodging, bro? He was dodging majorly when they started asking about
because
career mode.
there's honestly nothing new to make the game worth buying over NASCAR 25. That's why they're dodging all of it.
Because he went straight to silly season. He's like mixing all, but then as soon as he talks, he's like, I'm gonna quickly talk about this real quick, and then when he gets done, he tried to like move the question on or move the next question on. I just no split screen, which a lot of people are. The game runs poorly. If they ran split screen
isn't going to exist anymore in racing games because not enough people want it. I know a lot of people in the chat did, but this was one thing I was studying when I was learning how to market video games. And it's because it's just such a low thing that it's not worth putting the effort into. I would still add it though.
They would not be gatekeeping. They would not tell no split silly season just for it to be added. I don't hate because they used AI last game, so they probably would have done some damage thing.
Yeah, right. AI is so much better at coding than these modern devs.
Peak performance tells you what AI to put out, which we already knew. I still think that's really good. Maybe on wheel and with a custom setup, yes, you probably should just run 105 every single time or whatever it is. But if you're on controller or you don't have a custom setup, then
but that's a problem of its own. That means the difficulty slider needs to go higher than 105.
Yeah, but that's the thing. People were putting it. I saw someone complain about the difficulty, but then you have the setup at custom setups, and you put the like. But I don't know. Moderation since you know. I don't know. Track draw sucks in 25 and Daytona Turn 4 when I am. Devs forgot what makes racing games special. You can do what you want to. Now wait until your favorite
Customization. Exactly. That's what made NR so good. Go in there, you can change how the track works, you can change the AI's ratings, you can change the name of the drivers.
No driving on pace, pit lane, or in garage, or under yellow, which those are fine for that. Those are fine. That's not in the game in the video game, but I think it should still be in a setting though. They should like have that as a setting, like in F1. How is it? F1 you can do any of that, but I think you have to drive under yellow in F1, but you don't have to drive like on the pace lap. I think that's an option.
Yeah, the grid lap or whatever they call it.
They said AI is not super OP on pits, but he still said I think they made it better. That's what he literally said. He think they made it better.
I know.
Right? So I guess it's not. They're not gonna be super OP on the pits, but they're still gonna be pretty decent. They're probably gonna be maybe better. Still minorly though. AI ratings are more random now, so you're not going to see the same driver win every week in and week out. And then the next one, same sort of thing.
And
AI
they added a
ratings,
slider for that.
AI ratings slider to make more parity. So
Why not just allow you to change the rating? All of that's in the game. They have the ability to do that. That's how you balance a game. All they have to do is open that up to the players. All sports games have that ability, by the way. NFL, NBA, doesn't matter. You can change the ratings of people. So even if they didn't want to do the silly season, at least we'd be able to do it ourselves. Stop going back there.
Need 13% for dynamic track feature to kick in, which I'm assuming means they either don't have it enabled in 13% or like lower than 13%, or like it doesn't matter when it's there. Like I don't know how they said it.
You're probably right. Yeah, it's probably not enabled.
But it sounded like it didn't really matter in the first, unless they wanted to make it very. I guess they didn't want it to be too like it changes too fast. I guess if you got 7%, then it like changes like super super fast. So I guess 13% is the lowest they could go without making it too crazy. But I don't know. They should add a slider like on tire wear and fuel usage. And like, oh, how much do you want track to change per car? Like 4 times, 2 times, 3 times.
iRacing has that already, by the way.
Do they?
Yeah, you can speed it up by 8 times.
Thought that was just weather.
Which is the time and everything.
Huh. Last but not
That's
least.
why the day to night cycle goes that fast when you speed it up too.
Last but not least, Dale Jr. has shit basic music. Lots of drunk feel sorry for yourself music in 25. Flamey Motorsport Games could have made a peak NASCAR 23 ignition. I mean,
I still hate NASCAR 25 or 21 people because they lied straight to our face before we bought the game. At least the iRacing is honest. They're just honest. They didn't do anything.
Make modded iRacing, that would be 10 times better than this.
They're not gonna open mods to iRacing because they charge for every track and every car, and they'd lose all their money. That's why the GOAT is NR still, and I'm gonna have to make a third-party software myself just to keep NR going.
Absolute freaking NR homer over here. No day to night transitions. Disappointing. I knew that though.
They added dynamic light. Why couldn't they do that?
I guess they just want to make sure it's gonna look good, and they don't want to ruin. Like they have to have the game looking better, so they have to have it when they do day to night transition. It's gotta look the best it's ever looked.
They must have coded their lighting weird. I don't know how Unreal works. Maybe Unreal. No, Unreal's supposed to be easier.
iRacing is #1 sim. Yeah, for sure.
It is. Because it's built off GOAT.
Yeah, well. Better tire model, but mainly for braking, apparently. So it doesn't, like, tire model's gonna be better, but just looks like braking is just gonna seem better, I guess.
Wait, going back there. Sorry.
Been watching my house stream, but I still try to enjoy it before giving up on it. I think I spent too much time on that game. Facility upgrades is a bigger stat upgrade, but costs more, seeming like what they were talking about, so that's what it seemed like. It seemed like it might be just like a you buy it, it's a little bit more, it's a major upgrader, or more of a, like the same thing, just different, it just has a different effect to it. Not like, it just seems like they're, instead of just being staff, it'll just be like a facility instead, just renamed. So just do the same thing.
Oh, that'd be ridiculous. So they didn't touch it at all?
It seemed like the facility, I would think, whether who worded it, the facility upgrade is just
if they didn't,
it's just another stat upgrade. It's just a stat upgrade, another stat upgrade, basically, like how the staff is, but it's major and it costs more. It sounded like.
Hey,
so it's
be
overall.
careful.
Or it's not a bigger stat upgrade, it's a less stat upgrade, but it's more
alongside the one that already exists.
But it's an overall thing. He said it would take longer though. Like it's a more of a overall thing. So I don't.
Oh,
But
okay. So like it takes multiple races or something to get built, probably.
I don't know. Or like that stat that they are adding, it like maybe adds more money. You get more money per like, or you may, I don't know. I don't know. Or it's like a percentage. You don't cost as much to buy this part or something like that. And it's just
Mhm.
they want to save stuff for future games so they can market base features in NASCAR
You know
31
what?
as
That
new
actually
features.
might be true. Whoever just wrote that comment is smart. That might actually be true. They might be gatekeeping.
I'm gonna have to watch graphics tutorials on NR so I can make it look better because it doesn't look good.
The Ben Crazy
But
has a
already
video
has
that will make it look
Dinos
really good.
and so much more. And the last thing I wrote down was the involved caution screen. You already knew it shows who's involved in the yellow, so it's just like a little like UI element. But like out of all that, there's only like 5 things probably that are like good.
Honestly, the sad thing is, it's the PP. I think that's their best feature. I know a lot of people didn't like that, but what that does is that makes it so they don't have to spend so much time balancing the game, and then you can just do it yourself.
Mhm.
Then they have more time to actually do the stuff themselves. The other stuff we want.
Was their AI pit logic better? I don't think they said anything about that. He was a nothing burger when he asked if the AI pit logic was better. I think so. He was talking about
Didn't he say
I
they
don't
exit the
even
pits better? That's what he said, right? He just said they exit the pits better.
yeah. But they were talking
Okay,
about
so they
he
go
was
faster on the apron or what?
he was talking about I forgot what it was. He was talking about the yeah, most of the questions were some, especially some of them, like he was trying to avoid the career mode talk. I could clearly tell that. There was like a couple of good career mode ones. The I can't. I'm sad that there's no like black flags to where you can't like. You should be able to stay underneath the apron until the you cross a line. That'd be kind of cool. But they have that in iRacing, so they should be able to add it here.
Just the
Anything they
checkbox.
anything they have in iRacing, they should be able to add in this game. Anything.
Exactly. That's why the replay system shouldn't be that hard because they already know how to code it. They already have it in the game.
Well, not
And
in
they said they
iRacing,
took
but
the. Yeah, they do. You can
they
go
just
back
have
and
a
watch the
red.
replay,
Yeah, but that's just a regular replay
or you can watch it
system.
live.
But the game
Yeah,
would
but
have
that's how they
to.
work. That's how they work in general. Is they have to save everything at every freaking second, and then you can go back and watch it. That's how replay systems work. So the fact that they have that coded, they could easily show you a caution throughout, or how a wreck
Yeah,
happened.
but just because it works though doesn't mean it would like you code like they would have to code it so the game would know who crashed.
Well,
Which
yeah, but they got the hard part done.
oh yeah, you're right. So you just have to watch.
Exactly.
You're right. Never mind.
The hard part, one of the
Apparently, I
hardest things
heard.
in games is save system.
Apparently, the
So
Eutechnics part, the Eutechnics though. Apparently, that when they added the caution replay, apparently that was very buggy to put into the game. I'm sure they can add Arca West and East
they had to build
splits
theirs from scratch.
blowovers in silly season next month, but they won't because they have such one a reason to add base features as new stuff. Again, all these features are good, or most of that they added are good, but
Don't they just feel like
I feel like
patches that
they're
would have
way.
happened like middle of the year?
I don't think so. I think it's features they could add. It's in a new game, but these are like the smaller, minor features that they added, and the major ones are yet to be revealed. But no, this is literally it.
Yeah, because they would have said if they had a big major thing selling point, they would have said we'll talk about more of that later. But they're not saying that.
Unless the driving is just like 10 times better and they like make it that much better, but I don't think it is.
I doubt it.
Dang.
It was supposed to already be really good, and that's the hardest part of making a racing game is the driving. And they already had that from the year before.
Well, that's probably about it. I don't have anything else to say about that. That was kind of mid Ohio and I don't think anyone else was doing anything. Let's see. I look at Q&A, and I'm the only one. But not many people were talking about this, so I don't think. Oh, we got Disco here.
Oh, Disco did it this time? Wasn't he in your chat last time you did it?
Because I'm sorry, I know some of you are gonna disagree,
But
split screen is a fucking outdated feature.
dang!
That's my opinion.
Outdated
You can say
feature?
I'm wrong. If you want these guys, and he did explain it, and it makes sense. They have to put twice the resources on
Wait,
the
what's
same
the
screen.
outdated
If you do
feature?
split screen racing, it's not just 40 cars, it's 80, it's like
Yeah,
more
Cam.
mirrors.
Okay, gotcha.
There's a lot of shit that goes in there.
Well, I gotta go and eat, so. What I could do, though, is I'm streaming. I wonder. I've never done this before. I guess I can. If you guys want to keep talking and watching videos on. What do you call it? On. I don't know how you even do this. Share? No. I don't know. I was like, I could just, like, get you guys
Put his
all over
link in the
there.
description. Just put the link on the top.
But there's a way
in the
you could just
comments.
end it and then people will just get cut over there, but I don't know.
They have that on YouTube?
I think so. I just don't know how.
Oh.
But I gotta go and eat. So. I don't know how I would do
Join
that.
the Discord.
Oh, did I put the Discord in the chat? I don't remember if I did.
You don't have it in the description?
No, I have their NASCAR Discord though. If someone wanted to watch it on their own, so.
Oh yeah.
Kind of mid. So I'm probably gonna go out and eat. I don't know if I can. I don't think I can. See you tomorrow, Bobby. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you already streamed, so you're probably not streaming later.
I'm trying to see if I can do it. I don't see it. Well, I'm gonna. If you guys want to see more people talking about it, here's Disco here. You guys can join that one. He does it a lot. I don't. There you go. Go and still talk about it. Oh, we hit 25 likes. Well, I guess I had a like goal earlier, but I kind of unpinned that since we revealed that NASCAR 25 had or 26 will have Kyle Busch, which is kind of really cool. But I'll see you guys next time.
I like Austin's